Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Today, I have 3 different videos on 3 different topics on being child free. But the first one that I will start with is the cost of having quadruplets in America. Oh my God, that cost is outstanding. But when I was looking at it and comparing it to Kenya or just to Africa at large, I think the price is almost the same if you were to go to a well-established private hospital. Because let's face it, especially where I come from, if you go to a government hospital, they're not well funded. They don't have the facilities. The doctors are sometimes there, sometimes they're not there. So if you're to have quadruplets that need special attention, there are higher chances of your children surviving, of the baby surviving if they were in a private hospital than a public one, which means that if you have the money, then you go to a private hospital, then you'll be paying more or less the same as what this lady was talking about.
It's time. I'm talking about the cost of having 4 premature babies in America. That's right, I'm talking about quadruplets, and this is not including the delivery. This is the cost of all of the care that the NICU team did. Let's start with baby A, Atlas. He was my smallest at 1 pound and 14 ounces. He was intubated right away, but he actually came home the soonest at 64 days. So if you take all of these and add it up, which is the cost for just the NICU, and then you take this, which was 13 pages long, and add it up, which is medications and everything else he needed done, this was my total for baby A. Then we'll move on to baby C because she, which is my daughter Magnolia, was the second to come home at 74 days, and she was the healthiest the whole time. You take her NICU stay, plus everything else, and that gives you this number for baby C. And then baby B, my son Morgan, who came home at 86 days, take the cost just to stay in the NICU, and then the 27 pages of God knows what else he needed, and that gives you this. And last, but certainly not least, my baby D, Dominic, who spent 147 days in the NICU. You take this cost, 147 days in the NICU, plus the 36 pages of things that he needed done during his time, which is almost 1.5 million itself. And that gives you this for one baby, making my grand total to have premature quadruplets who need life-saving treatment in America's cost $4,045,927.95. Thank you for your time.
People are having a payment plan for their maternity bill. Like, that's where we've reached as a society. Worldwide, this is not just confined in America. I mean, even Kenya, even in other countries, it's the same thing. Like your medical bill, not medical because you're not sick. When you're pregnant, you're not sick. You're delivering a child, right? And you're given a bill that's so huge that you literally have to make a monthly payment on your bill. And there was someone who said that their baby had to spend about 3 months in NICU, and when they were released, they had more than 1 million US dollars to pay. So they had a payment plan where they had to make monthly payment, and they only finished paying it when the child was about 6 years old. Like, it's taking you that long to finish paying for the delivery of a child that you made 6 years ago. Now tell me if such a parent is going to love this child, because that's instant debt. It's instant. Like, the moment you have a child, that's debt automatically. And that's only the hospital bill. We are not talking about the cost of raising that child. And then on the other hand, there are these people who just don't understand why people do not want to have kids. It's ridiculous.
2024 has made me become rather fed up of being a woman, okay? It really hit me this year that as a girl child, before you are even born, everybody has an idea of how your life is going to be, right? You're going to go to school, you're going to get married, you're going to have kids, and then eventually you're going to die, right? And more or less that's your kind of life. Obviously, the stuff in between kind of goes without saying. And then when you grow up, depending on things like maybe your race, your culture, the religion that you grew up in, etc., the type of family, the background that you come from, when you grow up and you're not into those things, maybe, for example, you don't want to have kids, maybe you don't want to get married, right? And you've kind of held your lip for quite a few years knowing that you don't want these things, but then people around you just won't shut the hell up about it. And so you get to a point where you're like, you know what, I'm just going to directly tell these people that I've had enough. I don't want certain things that they have planned out for my life. I've grown up and I've realized for myself, I've made an adult decision that I don't want these things for myself. Their reactions, 2024 is when I realized not all, but some of my immediate family, and not even just immediate family, but people also outside of that, just see you as a walking womb, that all your purpose in life is to just bear children, just produce, reproduce, reproduce, reproduce. If you as a woman decide to go against that grain, again, depending on that things like your race, your background, religious background, family's cultural belief, etc., etc., oh, hell is gonna break loose, right? Now, for the most part, I don't really like to chat my personal business online, but I felt the need to make this video because it might help somebody out there. This year, I've been going through a complete madness, right? Okay? And one of the madness now involves me no longer talking to a family member. At present moment, it's not even me not talking to them, to be fair. They are not talking to me. And I have been given the ultimatum that the only way that they are going to talk to me is if I create a child and give birth to a child. And this person in particular has stated they don't give a heck if I have to go and reproduce with a stranger, if it's somebody I don't know, if it's somebody I don't like, they don't care. If it's a boyfriend, if it's somebody that I'm seeing, they don't give a heck. But they are never going to talk to me for the rest of their lives until I have produced a child. Now, I say all of that just to say, the reason why I'm sharing this personal situation is because, listen, don't allow people to tell you how to live your life, right? And what to do with your body, especially if you are of adult age, right? You have your own mindset. You know what will work best for you. You know what will not work well for you. Do not allow for yourself to be bullied. That's the purpose of me making this video. Because I'm not trying to be funny, but these people that are giving me ultimatums, etc., they've lived the majority of their lives. They've made the decisions that they wanted to make, right? They've done what they had to do for themselves. When it comes to a child, for example, a child is a lifelong, it's a lifelong decision, right? A child needs constant care. And I have the mindset of, if I even wanted to have a kid, right? That's a lifelong decision. I don't give a toss if that child is 60, 70 years of age, whatever they need, that's me, right? This video is not for me to share why I've chosen to be child-free, because you know I'm not going to answer that question. I don't owe anybody an explanation. It's my body, it's my choice. If you're going to come with religious quotations or try and tell me what the purpose of a woman is, I don't give a fuck. This is not the page for that. I don't give a heck. However, I have answered a video a very long time ago when somebody did ask me a question and I answered that. So if you want to go and watch that, that's cool, right? But I say all of this just to say, people will be forcing you to go and have a child, yeah, or for you to go and get with somebody who is not the right person for you. But it's going to be you that is living with that decision, right? You know what you can handle, you know what you can't handle, you know what you want in life, you know what you don't want in life. Do not allow for yourself to be bullied. And if that involves, yeah, having Certain family members disown you, not want to talk to you ever again, giving you stupid, silly ultimatums of what to do with your body and your life, then you know what? So be it.
This is where we had dinner, right?
Yeah, we just walked in.
It's just crazy how in the previous clip it was a woman talking about how expensive having children was, like paying the medical bills and people having to make payment plans just even for 6 years just for them to clear the hospital bill. Then on the other hand, you have a woman who is clearly saying that they do not want children, but society is still giving them pressure to have kids to the point of being disowned. Isn't that crazy?
Let's be honest for a second about the conversation surrounding women who are child-free by choice. As a woman who is child-free by choice and surrounded with friends who are mothers who have children, I do not ever find myself having to explain why I'm child-free by choice to my primary immediate circle. But a lot of the time, to people who are outside that circle, I find myself having to answer questions like, why don't you want to have a child? Is it because of money? Is it because of you're trying to prove a point that women can also just choose not to have children? Trying to prove a point, crazy business. Is it because of cultural stereotypes that you're maybe trying to break? Is it because you address and call yourself a modern woman? Listen, there doesn't need to be an explanation, especially from Black African women who choose not to have children, why we choose not to. Sometimes the full answer, which in my case and in the cases of many people, many women, is the fact that we just don't want to. And that is an answer. You know how much like they say that no is an answer? That is an answer too. We just don't want to. And why must it be studied in such a way that we need to be asked questions like, okay, no, child-free women, let's have this conversation. Why? Why must it even be a conversation? No one asks mothers why they choose to be mothers, but they will run to ask child-free women to write them an essay about why they choose to be child-free. There's no particular reason. It's not cultural. It's not the fact that because they can't have children in some cases, right? It's not because of ABC. It's nothing outside of the fact that I don't want to have kids. That's all. That's all. Nothing more to it. Don't blame it on structure, on culture, on trying to debunk why child-free women are child-free. Don't blame it on anything. Don't try and find a way to have child-free women come into a conversation that they choose not to come into. It's our choice, and we choose not to. Period. La rata we tsunya ditabeng tse ileng hore, like, is it even necessary to be having that conversation? Oh,
I am 36, child-free, it's Thursday, and I woke up in Paris. Having a bitter French coffee, might go shopping later. Oh, that is so nice. I'm sure all of the comments will be so supportive. I'm 38, recently diagnosed with brain tumor. When my life was threatened, my trips to Paris didn't walk my soul. Having my daughter to live for did. Okay? The child-free trend is so hilarious. Since when was it a flex to show off whether we have kids or not? Who cares? Apparently you. I think you need retinol cream, because that was the point of the video. Child-free life looks sad. Yeah, shopping in Paris looks so depressing. It's your life, but us with kids are happy as well and grateful to God for the bundles of joy he gave us. I don't have kids yet, but I want them in the future. Child-free life honestly looks sad at a certain age. You should not be having children as a life insurance policy. Depression would have killed me if not for my lovely daughters. No pressure on the kids, I guess. You made a good decision. No child deserves this. I'm not a mother yet, but apparently sipping coffee and going shopping is better than having a mini-me. So in short, kids would have made you poor. Yes.
I am going to end this video with this comment that I found resonated so much with me, because this is also the kind of content that I create, the kind of awareness that I am creating online. And this person says, don't mothers realize that child-free content might help women that want to be mothers but can't, to help them see that there is more to life and that they can be happy. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me. I would really love to know what you think about today's video. If you have any comments, if you are child-free yourself, or maybe you're considering it, or maybe you're not. Maybe you just support child-free people, but you're not child-free yourself. I would love to hear your comments, and I will see you soon. Remember to subscribe and to like so that this video is recommended to people who have the same thoughts, or people who are also child-free and they're looking for a community, because at the end of the day, that's what you're trying to create. We're trying to create a worldwide community of child-free men and women. And I will see you next week. Goodbye.